I'm here with another bass demo. This is a custom-made bass, a custom Viola bass. I've done a number of demos on my Wish basses, and the reason I did those is because I felt like Wish basses were relatively unknown, underappreciated, and I wanted to spread the word. And I'm doing this demo for a similar reason. This bass is put together with parts from various companies and individuals, some of which I think are doing outstanding work, maybe relatively unknown, and I'd like to tout their skills. So I'm going to talk about this bass. It's a project bass that's come together from a lot of different sources. It all started with this body, Viola-shaped body, and I found this on eBay, and it was sold by a couple of luthiers in Indiana who go by the name of Unorthodox Guitars. Dave and Marla, I believe, are Unorthodox Guitars. They make some awesome stuff. Their eBay username is DrummerGirl1961, and they sold just the body. Completed. It's a chambered monoframe construction, they call it. These really cool kind of modern F-holes. The body had no routing done to it. It's cherry on the back, and I believe ash in the middle, and there are ash blocks underneath the neck and bridge portions, and it's a maple front. And I saw a picture of this body and was immediately taken with it. It was unfinished, and just the body unrouted. And that was the start of my project bass. So I called and talked to some folks at USA Custom Guitars. At the time I had this designed, my favorite basses were my '69 Fender Jazz and my Alembic Epic. And so I spec'd a neck that's kind of a combination of those features. It's a jazz width, it's an 1.5 inches wide at the nut. I really like the ebony on my Alembic, so I spec'd an ebony finger fretboard. And it has a C profile neck, kind of a nice comfortable profile in my hand, and I forget what the radius is. I think 9.5 or 12-inch radius on the fingerboard. So it's somewhat designed after classic Fender Jazz, but with a few features that make it a little bit more Alembic-like. It is a 4-string, of course, 34-inch scale. The neck arrived excellently dressed. The frets were perfect. They've been filed and leveled and dressed excellently. Black abalone inlays. Everything about the construction of the neck was exquisite. I ordered the neck with the smallest headstock they offer, simply because I already had the body. I knew that I had no upper horn, and that I wanted to keep the neck as light as possible to keep the bass well balanced. And so light tuners, small headstock, and a skinny neck also, 1.5-inch nut, all in an effort to emulate my favorite feeling neck and to keep it lightweight. And so I chose the Hipshot A-style bridge. This is the solid brass one. It's plated in chrome, but it's a brass bridge. EMG makes this pickup, which is the model's a TW. It's a 35 TW, and it's actually 2 distinct pickups in one casing. There's a CS, the ceramic and steel humbucker, in there, and there's also a single coil jazz style pickup. And you switch between the two. You can't use them both at once, but you switch between the two by pulling on the volume knob. I chose this as a way to get more variety in one pickup, because they're very different sounds, as you'll hear. I also chose the 3-band EQ, but I got it stacked on 2 knobs so there'd be less controls up front. It's volume, and then it's treble and bass on this stack knob, and mid-sweep and mid-boost cut on this stack knob. So we got 3 bands of EQ and a volume knob. So when I had all the pieces together, it became a matter of putting them together in the proper fashion. And for that, I went to a local luthier here in West Los Angeles. His online presence is Friendster Guitars. He took on the task of routing and assembling the basic parts of this bass. When I got it back from Friendster Guitars is when I did the finish, did some finish sanding, and did a hand rub tung oil finish on the body and neck. After the finish, wired it up. I did all the soldering, installed the electronics, and the results are, this now is equally one of my favorite basses. The feel of the neck and the action is phenomenal. It's got a real interesting range of tones. This was something that I could only theorize what all the different elements would come together and sound like, but you never really know until you get it done, and I'm very happy with the results. The last touch here, the last finishing touch, are these really cool knobs. These are handmade custom wood knobs by Roger at THG Knobs, and they just kind of add to the whole organic front of the bass instead of the cheesy black plastic ones. So the body from Unorthodox Guitars, the neck from USA Custom Guitars, the hardware, hip shot, ultralights, and hip shot A-style brass bridge, and EMG electronics, the EMG 35TW pickup, and the EMG 3-band active EQ. The Viola custom bass.